Hello. This is Prophet AmbiGlow, and it's just one of those nights where I kind of want to talk again. But this may help somebody, because I mean, I'm just here to be transparent, and that's all I ever want to be is transparent. I don't want to act like I know everything, that I don't struggle with thoughts and everything. So transparency is my number one. Um, is my number one thing, and that's what called me to God, was when I had an example of transparency through Pastor Mike Todd at Transformation Church. So I'm just here to do the same. And as you know, God has called me to be a prophet, to be his prophet, his mouthpiece. And he has said, this was his promise and his words. I did not want to do ministry. This is not something that I wanted to do. Okay? He's given me the desire to, but originally this is not something I wanted to do. And even now, I still go through thoughts man, I don't really want to do this, but it is what it is. It's God's will for me, and I know he's going to give me the desire fully. But I just came from an outing, and this is what kind of got me thinking. I guess it's thinking, and it kind of gives me revelation a little, so it may help someone else. But I was with community just now, and it was a small group from church, and I love fellowshipping, and it's so good to be around people. However, when you have a high call on your life, if you're around people who don't also have that high calling, sometimes you can still feel alone. If God calls you to be a teacher, a preacher, a prophet, whatever it may be, that he wants you to help the masses, you won't fit in. You won't fit in, especially when you're following Jesus to the T. When you're trying to be obedient, you won't fit in. And God makes you, specifically designs you to not, you just won't fit in when God makes you for him. And so it's just, sometimes it's a little disheartening being around other people who, I suppose, don't have the same calling as me, and sometimes I feel bad. I'm Lord, why am I not fitting in? But he reminds me, okay, you're called to love people, and loving people does not require you to fit in. And so I have to tell myself that, because I've always just wanted to fit in. I don't know what it is. I mean, okay, I know why, what it is. Growing up and stuff, I didn't fit in then. And at that time, I didn't know the calling on my life. That I don't know. I try really hard, and that's the problem. Okay, sorry. I'm not gonna be crying up on here. But yeah, I won't fit in, and God has told me, I guess there's a lot of things where, I'll listen to other people, and then sometimes I'm God, why can't, I don't know, they'll say things or do things, and then it's oh wow, and then it's, sometimes they'll say they did something, and it's man, I wish I could do that. And it's not in a comparison way. It's more so God will not let off. Like, okay, this is the thing. I guess people in my situation, they'll see me and, they'll hear about, they'll be like, oh, you don't have a job and all this other stuff, and you can kind of just do whatever you want to do. And it's like, they'll think, wow, like, I wish I could do that, or like, I wish I was like you. But it's like, you don't want my mantle. You don't want my mantle. You don't want this calling. Like, it's not easy. You have freedom at your hands. And I'm not saying that I'm not free, because I am free. But when you have this, like, when you have a high calling on your life, and there are other people who can vouch for me, when you have a high calling on your life, God expects you to pursue holiness and righteousness. You can't just do whatever you want to do. You cannot just do, because it's for his name's sake. It's not about us. It's not about us. It's for his name's sake. He cares about his name. So when he has people who he's going to use to move his church or anything, like call people back, he expects them to pursue holiness and righteousness. It is not easy. It's not easy. And so, God reminds me, like, and one, I'm not a judgmental person. That is one thing that I don't like. That's one of the reasons why I literally wanted, like, when I came to God and I found out, like, I finally, like, started to learn God and learn that he was not judgmental. That was when I was like, oh my goodness, this is the truth. I avoided God from people that, like, just because of people were judgmental. So it's not me being judgmental. It's like, when you're a teacher or preacher and you are called by God, I'm not talking about somebody who just wants to spread the gospel. No, they're doing good. They're doing good and they're doing the Lord's work. But when God wants you specifically, and he has made you specifically for his work and has ordained you, most of the time, we didn't want to do it. I hear some of the greatest preachers, I'm not even lying, some of the greatest preachers and teachers. I was just listening to John Bevere earlier today. Like, he said there's so many people who are like, and like I said, they're the greatest. They're the greatest. They have moved thousands and millions of people to God. And they said in the beginning, they did not want to do this. This was not something they wanted to do. Okay, so when God calls you, it's different. It's different. It's different. It's not just an average Christian. It's hard. It's hard. And like, you have to just pray every day. Like, you have to. Like, people do not understand. Like, there's a reason. Like, you think I would just sit here and, like, not want a job? Like, the fact that people, I guess, this is the thing. I struggle so hard with image. I need y'all to pray for me. I struggle so hard with image. Because people literally think that, like, I'm lazy. And it's like, I fought that. I fought that since a child. Like, I'm not lazy. I would get a job, but God said to wait on him. Like I say, I'm just being real transparent, and I'm just like, I guess I just need, like, to talk. I guess there are other people who, there are so many people who are on, YouTube, and they're prophets. And, like, if you're a prophet, like a true prophet that was called from God, you understand. because God expects you to pursue holiness and righteousness. And I didn't want to be a prophet. It was literally like it was kind of thrown on me. And like, I love God so much. I love him so much. So like, no worries. Like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm still not going to do anything that God isn't telling me to do. But it's hard. And I'm just here to ask for prayer to like fight the warfare, because like people who don't have the same calling, I can't even explain it. Like, I can't explain it. But it's only crazy until God does it. And it's like, this is a whole nother level. And I know God is promoting me. And it's one thing when I was dealing with it back home, but in my promised land, I'm still dealing with it, and God is building me up for it. As I say, I'm not going anywhere. I know that it's all a test, and like, God is going to use this situation and many more. But just in case if somebody else like goes through that, like, I just want to fit in. Like, you're not alone. You're not alone. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I'm gonna get to the gym because I still have to work out and change clothes, and it's like almost 10 o'clock. But yes, I thank you, so to support, it helps me a lot. God is still good. Only so if you feel led. I don't want to just ask just to be asking. I know God is taking me to a new level, because today has been filled with warfare. Today has been filled with warfare, and it's still a good day. But I've had a couple comments that came through to me. And there's the ambulance. I had a couple comments that came through to me that were not of God. Somebody literally, and sometimes, I'm learning to like not pay attention to comments. But this person was literally like, God told me not to read the Bible, and there is a new age movement, and when his real children come, like, y'all, no, I'm not even wasting my time with that. So I just removed the comment. But it's just been like, I don't know. I know that devil trying. I know God has like moved me to a new level. So I'm just trying to prepare for it. But I just need y'all's prayers. That's all. That's all I ask. God is still good. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not doing anything that is going to be out of his will, because I have to stay in his will. I was in the world. Like, I know about it all. Like, I was in the world. I didn't do everything, but I learned from other people not to do it. So I was in the world. I know what it was like. God took me out of the world, and he said, look, I want you to pursue holiness and righteousness. And like, I'm doing that. Sometimes I'm just like, man, Lord, like, why can't I do that? He's like, no, you can't do that, because what I have for you, like, it's just like, he be riding me. Like, that's what I tell people, comparison is so stupid. Comparison is so stupid. You don't compare yourself to anybody. You don't know what they are called to do, their mantle, or anything, whatever it looks like. You think I want to sit here and be homeless? You think I chose this? I don't know. I just have, it's like the audacity of like some like things, I guess. But yes, God is still good, and I thank you for listening. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.